Brazil's F-5EM stands as one of the most remarkable demonstrations of how a nation can take an aging platform and transform it into a capable tool of air power, shaped by national industry and strategic necessity. Few aircraft symbolize Brazil's evolutionary approach to defense planning more clearly than this upgraded version of the classic F-5E Tiger II. While new Gripen E fighters are entering service and forming the backbone of Brazil's future air combat capability, the F-5EM continues to operate across the country's immense airspace, sustaining air sovereignty at a fraction of the cost and providing operational flexibility during a long and complex modernization cycle. The origins of Brazil's F-5E fleet reach back to the 1970s and 1980s, when the nation sought a compact, affordable, and easy-to-maintain fighter that could provide essential defensive capability without overwhelming the budget. Additional units were later purchased from Jordan, expanding the fleet as Brazil gradually shaped a broader national air strategy. At the outset, these aircraft possessed modest radar performance, limited beyond visual range capacity, and relatively simple analog cockpits, appropriate for their era, but increasingly insufficient as regional threats evolved and the requirements of air policing expanded. Brazil chose a different path from simply retiring the aircraft. Instead, it launched the F-5BR modernization program, a strategic partnership between Embraer and Israeli Aerospace Industries and Elbit Systems. This decision reflected a critical long-term view. Modernization of older platforms could serve as both a low-cost boost in capability and a foundation for national defense industry development. Rather than merely receiving foreign upgrades, Brazil placed industrial participation at the center of the program, elevating national know-how in integration, avionics, and systems engineering. The result was the F-5EM and FM variants, aircraft that shared the external silhouette of the Tiger II but carried entirely new brains, eyes, and weapons. The most significant improvement was the installation of the Grifo-F radar from Italy, giving Brazil's upgraded fighters the ability to detect, track, and engage targets well beyond the performance of the original system. The radar introduced genuine look-down and shoot-down capability and allowed the aircraft to perform basic beyond visual range engagements when paired with modern missiles. Combined with new mission computers and sensor suite, this radar transformed situational awareness in ways the original Tiger II could never achieve. The cockpit also moved into the 21st century. The F-5EM gained a modern glass cockpit layout, updated communication systems, encrypted data links, and compatibility with the Elbit helmet-mounted display. This provided pilots with substantially improved ergonomics, faster reaction time, and the ability to employ advanced missiles through off-bore sight target queuing. The new avionics package brought the aircraft close to late fourth-generation standards in terms of pilot workload and mission flexibility, giving Brazil a more credible air policing tool at a time when the country still could not acquire new fighters in large numbers. Weaponry upgrades further strengthened the platform. Brazil integrated the Python 4 and Python 5 high off-bore sight missiles, capable of dominating short-range dogfights against legacy opponents. The Darby missile added basic beyond visual range capability, giving the aircraft an air-to-air envelope previously unimaginable. Precision-guided munitions and Israeli targeting pods allowed the F-5EM to carry out strike missions with improved accuracy and responsiveness. These enhancements did not turn the aircraft into a modern multi-role fighter, but they made it a serious tool of sovereignty for Brazil's strategic geography. The most enduring value of the F-5EM lies in its role in Brazil's air defense doctrine. Covering a vast landmass filled with remote jungle regions, border zones, and dispersed airfields requires a sizable fleet of cost-effective aircraft capable of remaining on alert for long periods. Modern fighters like the Gripen E offer exceptional performance, but cannot economically fulfill the sheer volume of day-to-day tasks that Brazilian airspace demands. The F-5EM fills this gap, operating as the workhorse for routine interception missions, patrol flights, and readiness duties. Its low operating cost allows Brazil to maintain continuous air policing without exhausting resources needed for the long-term acquisition of advanced platforms. During the transition toward a fully operational Gripen E force, the F-5EM also serves as a stabilizing factor. Brazil cannot replace its air combat fleet overnight. Industrial assembly, pilot conversion, maintenance training, and infrastructure expansion all require time. The F-5EM ensures that Brazil retains sufficient fighter numbers to deter regional threats and maintain minimum response density while the Gripen force gradually matures. This is particularly important given the presence of modernized F-16s in Chile and Su-30 Mk2 aircraft in Venezuela, both of which underscore the need for Brazil to maintain credible readiness during this prolonged period of modernization. Nonetheless, the F-5EM has structural and technological limits that cannot be ignored. Airframes originally built in the 1970s have finite operational life and cannot support heavy modernization indefinitely. While the avionics and weapons have reached a contemporary standard, the aircraft lacks the performance, range, and survivability of modern fourth-generation or four-and-a-half-generation fighters. It cannot integrate active electronically scanned array radars, advanced infrared search and track systems, or the next generation of beyond visual range weapons. In a true high-intensity conflict, the F-5EM would be severely outmatched. Its continued utility lies in missions where presence, readiness, and cost efficiency are more important than raw capability. Brazil's long-term plan calls for the gradual retirement of the F-5EM as Gripen E production ramps up domestically. However, this process will unfold over many years. Full operational capability for the Gripen fleet is not expected until the late 2020s or early 2030s. Until then, the F-5EM will remain a critical bridge, an aircraft that allows Brazil to sustain a nationwide air defense network while simultaneously investing in an advanced, sovereign aerospace industry centered on the Gripen program. The industrial legacy of the F-5EM modernization is one of its most important but often understated contributions. By working alongside Israeli partners, Brazil developed deep experience in systems integration, mission avionics, radar installation, electronic warfare architecture, and weapons compatibility. These competencies strengthened Embraer's position as a global aerospace manufacturer and created a technical foundation later used in the local assembly, testing, and maintenance of the Gripen E. The F-5EM program proved that modernization was not only about extending the life of an aircraft, but also about cultivating national industrial autonomy and building confidence for future, more ambitious defense projects. For many developing and middle-income nations, Brazil's F-5EM offers a strategic lesson in balancing ambition with pragmatism. Countries that cannot afford immediate, large-scale procurement of advanced fighters can still build sustainable air power through phased modernization, domestic industrial participation, and cost-effective upgrades. The aircraft's extended service life reflects a broader philosophy. Meaningful capability can be extracted from existing platforms when modernization is guided by clear strategic objectives and a long-term vision of sovereign industrial development. In the end, the F-5EM remains more than an upgraded Tiger II. It is a symbol of Brazil's ability to adapt legacy technologies to national needs, maintain air sovereignty over a continental expanse, and prepare the groundwork for a future built on more sophisticated platforms like the Gripen E. The aircraft may approach the end of its operational life in the coming decade, but its impact on Brazil's defense posture and aerospace industry will endure long after its final flight.